Welcome to Find Your Fridays with Lorene. I am Lorene. I am your host. I'm your intuitive connector. I'm here. Isn't life grand? It's a grand little life that we live. I hope you're doing well. I hope this, whatever the weather is doing in your corner of the world, is treating you kindly. And I hope that whatever is popping up in your world right now is also not too challenging. Life is a wonderful thing. It can make you sing. It can make you cry. It can make you wonder why. Good evening, Melinda. Oh, dear. One of the fun things that always happens before a show is that I listen to certain songs that make me sing hello, Amanda. And it's so quite often by the time you guys pop in, I'm already feeling like singing my lungs out because that's what I've just been doing. Oh dear. How have you both been? Yes, both. I've had a very exciting day today. Very exciting. Actually, I've had a great week, actually, but we'll start with today. Today, my oven got replaced. Hallelujah. It was a bit of a hassle, though, for the poor electrician. But the hardest part for me was the fact that there was a knock on my door, and it was like 9:30. Normally, I'd be well and truly up by then, but I was not this morning. I was still very much dead to the world. Oh, dear. And I was just like, ooh. Luckily, see, this is why I sleep in pajamas, because you just never know when somebody's going to want to come to your door and knock on your door. So stumbled out, and it was the landlady saying that the electrician was going to be through at about 10:30. And I was like, okay, so she wanted me to open up the garage door, move my car and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, okay, just give me a minute. I'll be right there. She's like, okay, no problem. Oh dear, funny. So yeah, as it turns out, the new oven was 4 millimeters longer than the previous oven. You wouldn't think that would make much of a difference, but when it's like in a cavity, and the previous oven's plug was like, you've got the socket, and then the plug is coming out, but it was an outie, like a long out straight plug. That proved to be quite the problem, because even the previous one, the plug the cord had been bent down. Electrician wasn't happy with that. So we ended up coming up with a compromise where he took the plug and put it up. He actually moved the socket up. Hi, Juanita. It's been a long time since we've seen you. So yeah, he actually moved it up. So it's now sitting in the cavity at the top of the oven, which was great. So it should be nice and should stay good and healthy and safe up there. So yeah, Amanda said, good, thanks. Been driving through some beautiful national parks around here in Agnes Waters. Excellent places where you can't help to connect. Agreed. I have to say, it's one of the beautiful things about, being up in the area that you are now. It's just so lush and lovely, and that's just amazing. Just amazing. Anyway, so that was today. That got done, and then of course I had to have the oven, because it was brand new, I left it on for a good couple of hours, just to get all of that initial, I think they call it seasoning of the oven. all the chemicals out of it anyway. So that was a bit stinky for a while. Yeah, it's been a good day though. Been a very good day. I've had 2 new ovens in my lifetime. Actually, 3. I forgot about the third one. The best oven though was the one that I put in, or we, I should say, got put into my second husband's house, and it was after a lot of stress getting to the point where, because we completely gutted the kitchen, redid the floors, redid all the joists, made everything, actually reasonably level, redid all the wiring, like chipped it all out because it's a double brick house, mortar, plaster, so much plastering in that house. That was the room I actually learned how to skim coat plaster, because the old paint kept chipping off, and it was a nightmare to try and get flat. So I ended up learning how to skim coat. We replaced the ceilings because we had to take out the old coal range fire and the chimney that went with the coal range fire. So we had to take that out. And then because we took that out, it left a big, huge gap in the ceiling that we couldn't fix with just a piece of plasterboard, because they had the old horse here, because the house is now at the moment 100 years old. Back when we were doing that was about 90 years old. So we had to rip out all the horsehair ceiling. It was a messy job. And getting the oven, like getting the cabinets in and then getting the oven put in, that was so exciting, so absolutely exciting. And, the very first, I actually had a memory pop up this week of the very first pork roast I did with proper crackling. It was so good. Made an absolute mess of the oven, and I refused to ever cook another pork roast in an oven again. Oh dear. Thank you, Amanda. So yeah, wow. Oh dear. So the other exciting things that happened for me this week, last night, it was the new moon last night, so I made myself a little fire out the back. It was with the landlord's permission. She didn't really know how I was going to create a fire, but she knew I was going to do it. She said, that's fine, you can just use whatever. Because being on the farm and stuff, they've got lots of bits of wood and things that they want burned up anyway, so they're just like, yeah, if you want to get some of that, you can do that. I had some stuff already stored up, so I didn't really need to get anything from her side. And then today it's been absolute pouring down, so no worries about embers or anything. I did have the hose there ready to go, so it was not going to be a problem. So I did myself a little new moon ceremony and just calling in the energies that I actually wish to have in my world. So there's that. Definitely. Roast pork in a Weber. Mwah, beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Hi, Damara. So yeah, the fire, so fun. But my landlady, when she was over here today, I said, I did a fire last night. And she goes, oh, good, did you? And I was like, yeah, have a look at these pictures. And I showed her, and I said to her, see that? That's a washing machine inside. And she cracked up laughing. And then I said, and you see that underneath? And she goes, yeah. And I said, that's a tire rim. So washing machine, inners and tire rims, perfect, absolutely perfect for creating fires. Like a little brasserie fire. Absolutely great. So she thought that was fantastic. So it's the little things. And on Wednesday, I went and I caught up with a friend, because for the other days of the week, I've been very much hermity. I've been doing a lot of healing, a lot of reflection, a lot of awareness stuff that you guys have known about. That's still a process that is continuing. But then I realized I really needed to get out of the house and I needed to go see some people. So on Wednesday, I went out to see a friend. I haven't seen her for a few months. I think I saw her maybe May. I think I saw her in May. So it's been a couple of months. Anyway, I didn't leave there until 4:30 in the morning. No, 4 o'clock, sorry. I got home at 4:30 in the morning. And then I had to get up on Thursday morning because I was going to go and learn how to do the service on my car. I have a good friend who used to be a master mechanic. I would say he still is a master mechanic, to be honest. But he actually used to run a lot of mechanics shops. He used to teach apprentices. He's worked on rally cars and Formula One cars and stuff like that. So, revel for staying up until 4 o'clock in the morning. It was one of, when you get into those conversations with people and you're like, oh, it's getting a bit late, maybe. You look at the clock and it's like, oh shit, that's 2 o'clock in the morning. You had no idea because you've just been so engaged in the conversation. And I'm normally in bed around 10 o'clock. So it's like for it to be 2 o'clock. And then it was like, oh yeah, now there's this thing that I wanted to tell you. And so we'd go into that. And then she would say, oh yeah, now there's a thing I wanted to tell you. And then she'd go into what she would. And it was just back and forth like that until it was like 3:30. And I was like, okay, I've really got to go. And I didn't get out of there until 4. It was hilarious. It was so good, but safe to say I was really looking forward to having a sleep in this morning, and it still didn't happen. Oh, well, it's all good. I still have a few more days of my holiday left, so happy days. Now, cool. Awesome. So yes, just so many good things happening this week. Just so much has shifted and changed, and it feels really nice to, come back to you guys this week feeling just even more settled within myself. Like I'm feeling not just settled but safer within. I feel like my nervous system is finally like starting to calm down. And then the other cool thing that happened today is I had an online session today. I've got another one happening tomorrow. So it's all good things. All good things are happening. And the one who had a session today, she's wanting to have an in-person session next month because she's going to be back in the area for 5 weeks or something. So it's kind of like a really good nudge for me to get all the background stuff sorted for my online, my in-person sessions. And it actually feels like it might be time. I haven't really felt like having that happening here until now. Which, if you've been somebody who's been in survival mode for a long time, I think you'll be able to comprehend why. It's like my home is my safe place and safe space. And so having people come in it's a big deal for me at the minute. And it has been up until now. And it's not that I wouldn't be from here on out, but Hi, Catherine. Hello, Holly. So, yeah, I don't think we'll have any aeroplanes tonight, with fingers crossed. But if we do, we have got a lot of rain happening, which is why I don't think the aeroplanes will be going because they don't tend to like doing like training or anything in the rain too much. They do a little bit here and there, but not too much. So yeah, but fingers crossed. So if they do happen to come through, just wait. I'll be back. Because I'm on Starlink here. So when the airplanes come out, they actually mess with the signals from the satellites down to my Starlink. It's just wonderful. Just fabulous. Alrighty, so I pulled some cards for the week to come, which is, holy moly, we're going to be in August this time next week. How on earth did that happen? I don't know, but it did. So these cards are from the 26th of July through to the 1st of August. All right. So we've got, the first card that we've got here is silver. This is for the collective. It's nobody in particular, or it's everybody. Okay. So we've got be persistent. So over this week to come, we're in a nice in-between part of the year of the moon cycle, you know, because we've just come out of the new moon. We've probably, today and tomorrow are still in shadow period. It's okay. So if you haven't done your full moon ceremony or new moon ceremony last night, you still got today or tomorrow to do it. So yeah, August. Oh. So whatever you're working on at the moment, we've had a lot of forward moving energy for your creations and stuff over this last little bit. But I also sense this be persistent is about being persistent with the work or the shadow work, or maybe you're working with affirmations at the moment. Maybe you're doing whatever it is for your self-care and self-nurturing and growth. Keep doing it. Be persistent with it. If it's as simple as just doing your 5 gratitudes each night, keep doing that. If it is a case you've got a bit of a focus on your fitness, then keep doing it. Be persistent. Okay, whatever you're doing right now to help you continue to move forward, keep doing that. I get that it's very important, because what you're doing is you're attracting success. This week, with all of our planetary alignments, etc., we are in a really wonderful place and space right now for a lot of growth. We're into the sign of Leo now, and that's very, as my friend says, main character energy. So don't be surprised if you feel like quite uplifted and it's like, yes, I'm ready to keep moving forward now. Now is that. Okay. So you'll be attracting a lot more success, but if you keep persistent, you'll attract the success. Okay. So it's not that you can get there without any effort. There is some effort that you have to do. Okay. The next thing is rainbow, which is connecting with your spirit team. I'm just going to write team on the end of there. Keep connecting with your spirit team over this coming week. Now, the cool thing about that is if we read this along with the other two, it's persistently connect with your spirit team to attract success. Okay, because what you can use your spirit team for is you can ask them if you're looking for a job, if you've got the idea of wishing to attract a intimate partner, if you're wishing to attract more clients, if you're wishing to attract some information or anything like that, you can ask your spirit team to bring that to you in such a way that you can't miss it, right? So the number of times my spirit team has beautifully used social media or YouTube or random shit on the internet they've used that medium to bring information to me. And I'm like, the only way I know that that's happening is because these are things that I haven't spoken. I haven't written it down anywhere. I've only thought it. I haven't spoken it out loud. And next thing you know, that thing's coming through. And I'm like, the only ones who knew that was me and probably my spirit team, because my spirit team can hear my thoughts. So my spirit team has then gone ahead. It might be I wonder what blah, blah, blah. And then I'll forget about it. But then my spirit team goes, oh, she wanted to know about the latest blah, da, 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 da research. Here we go. Right to you. My spirit team's awesome. They like helping me with my knowledge. Which also leads us into our last card for the collective for this week to come, which is Lemon, which is access innovative thinking. So with this one, we're definitely be aware of all of the different ways that information and creativity and stuff can come through to you. It can come through to you through digital means. It can come through to you through physical means. It can come through to you in the shower. It can come through to you when you're out meditating in nature, when driving along. It can come through in music. It can come through in so many different ways. All you have to do is to receive it. You have to be aware of it and receive it. And it's like, oh, geez, who knew? You did. You just have to be open to receiving it. It's like I found on my memories the other day, I found this thing of like it was kind of like a summary of my natal chart. And right down at the bottom, it said that I'm naturally a mystic. And I'm just like, at a what? This is from like, if you guys recall, I've just sort of discovered that my feminine archetype is a mystic 4 years ago. It was in that. It was in this little natal chart summary 4 years ago. So I'm like, it's actually within my natal chart, which means that I've always been destined to be a mystic. I just had no idea what that meant. Hi, Paul. Oh, yeah, you're finally going to Shania Twain. Paul, did you ever get to go on to Good Morning America? Did you get to go on that episode? Because I remember you saying something about that, but I think you missed the next show. So I don't know if you got there. Let us know if you did. Alrighty. This week, all of this stuff, being persistent, attracting success, communicating with your spirit team, access innovative thinking. We've also got purification. Now, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about having headaches and feeling a little bit sluggish, feeling a little bit like we've also got a card on the floor. We've also got a lot of death energy floating up and around right now. And that's because we are literally having a time of purification again. So it could be the headaches and feeling sort of a little bit like sluggish, maybe feeling a little bit vomity, that sort of stuff. It's more than likely your body's way of purging. It's your body's way of showing you where you might require to maybe drink some more water, check in with yourself, do some self-care nurturing, maybe get out in nature, move your body, that sort of stuff. Okay, so if you've got headaches and things coming up, ask some questions about why it could be and think more energetic and emotional reasons rather than I'm just tired or whatever reasons you give to headaches. I'm stressed. You can be stressed and not have headaches. headaches more often than not are actually energetic. One of the things that you can do is this is something that you learn when you do bars, and sometimes you can kind of see the correlation between that and pressing on meridian points. And wherever it is hurting, just press, say if you've got, there's a couple of points here. And quite often over here and around here are where people get a lot of headaches. And so what you could do is you can just press on the point pretty firmly for about 60 seconds and ask the bar to run to completion. You don't need to know even what the bar is. It doesn't matter. You can just ask the point, just run to completion. All right. And what will happen is it'll just open up and it'll let the energy flow, because what the point of headaches is, it's showing you where an energy center is blocked. And so if you press on it pretty firmly, ask it to run to completion, you'll have to press on it for about 60 seconds, and then it'll go. So that's what I learned to do when I did access consciousness bars, or access bars. And I went from doing about at least 24 Nurofen a month for headaches alone, down to none. Just instantly like that. That was after my very first bars class, because I learned this thing. And I also started doing a lot more energy healing and receiving energy healing and all of that sort of stuff too, which also really helped with the headache situation. So just a handy little trick and hint tip for you. Paul, you're leaving on Tuesday for the Grand Canyon. Never saw it with the family. Cannot wait. Fantastic. That's exciting. Isn't it funny? Because I'm not too good with my geography, but isn't the Grand Canyon, like there's a section of it that is in the American side, and there's another section on the Canadian side. Is that correct? Might not be, but I think it is. Oh, let me get that card. Okay. I wonder what it was that fell out. Soften. There we go. Obviously, another message that we had to hear was soften. Just be kind and gentle and nurturing to yourselves. Okay. Try your best to move the judgment out of your system. That would be lovely if you could tell Shania Twain that I said hello. That would be amazing. She would have absolutely zero idea who I am. You'll have to go, there's this Kiwi chick that lives in Australia. And she says hello. That's so cool. All right. So Tamara, Amanda, and then Christine. Tamara, would you be able to pop your question in there, please? Ooh, that's a great question. Okay, let's see. Which cards wish to come and play with Tamara, please? Ooh, you're going in an RV, Paul. That's a bit exciting. My old flatmate's mum and dad got an RV. We call it a motorhome or camper here. Yeah, that was really exciting. So fancy. This is very handy. I had my Zoom open earlier today, and it's still open now. And as you guys are sending through donations, it actually pops up on my screen because it's linked over to my emails. And when you guys donate, I actually get an email, and then it pops up on my screen through Zoom because my Zoom and my emails are linked together. That's cool. So I don't miss any donations. So that's nice. How many of you will be traveling over there, Paul? Oh, yes, they are being very gentle. We've got the Karen K Fairies, Oracle of the Fairies cards. They're very nice. I don't know if you've got those ones. I know you're a big fan of Ina, like I am. A waterbed? Do they even still exist? Oh dear. Ah. Oh, good. Good-o. You can then pull them out and see if you get the same messages as I do. I love these cards. They're really pretty. They are. They're very soft and gentle too, which is nice. I have got a couple of decks there that, is it 1 or 2? Nope, there's just the one that you guys haven't seen yet. Well, one of you has, but that's because it was gifted to me by that person. So, oh, Paul, I don't have a husband. I'm a single fluttery butterfly now. You never had, hang on, you never had a husband or you never had a waterbed? I had a waterbed. I was very, very lucky. I got a waterbed when I was 6.5, or thereabouts, maybe 6. So when I was, just as a random side note, side quest, squirrel moment. So when I was 5 3/4, so it was the start of the new school year, and I was going to be turning 6 in April, and I had my 6th birthday with my aunt and uncle. So I actually did that entire term. We only had 3 terms in that year, and I had the entire term with my aunt and uncle because they didn't have kids yet. So I was the test dummy for my aunt and uncle. And I remember that birthday quite significantly because it was my very first birthday party, and it wasn't even with my mum and dad. Well, I think they were there maybe. I think my mum was there. I have seen a photo. And my grandparents were there. I don't remember if dad was there. And so when I got back, mum and dad had bought me and my brother, because I had one brother at that stage, a waterbed each, a little single waterbed. So they had the big, huge waterbed and like a queen size, and me and my brother had single beds, and that was back in the 80s. so I'm like, what? You have a waterbed? That's crazy. Because I can honestly tell you the waterbed lasted maybe 6 years before it got to a point where it was beyond repair and it couldn't be used anymore and it just had to go. So that's a little while ago, just saying. Around about 40 years ago. That's a bit scary to think about. But anyway, let me see. Yeah, the other reason why I haven't brought out the other cards is I haven't actually used them much for myself yet either right now. And it's like, I have them there, I haven't used them much. And so if they pop out, they pop out. We'll see. I'm feeling I'm due for, I know that feeling. It's really strange, isn't it, Tamara, when you're like, I just feel like there's another deck of cards coming to me, but I don't know where from. I don't know what they are. Yeah. So let us have a look for your week to come. Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, this is a really nice one for this month. Okay. So the first one we have is magical blessings. Whatever you're going through, you're being assisted by magical fairy blessings. Fairies say you can bless others too. So what I was getting with this one is that, you know, along with the fairies are part of your spirit team. And as such, they are there to help and support you. I'm getting lots of like really light, fluffy energy through here right now. And it's just like, it's almost like they're dancing, like little fairy crown of dancing just happening around here right now. They're just really, really happy. And so I would highly recommend you connect in with them as you move around and maybe go for your walks and all of that sort of thing. Remembering oh, I will come back to that because that's just so. You guys can't see on Facebook, but Paul's just said something really sweet over on YouTube land, and I'm just like, that's so nice. Anyway, when you're out walking and stuff like that, remembering, of course, if we've got our earbuds in on it, it's very difficult for the fairies to connect in with us. And just be aware that they are trying to connect with you and they're still trying to be that. So when you have those moments and you get to sit down, I saw a few weeks ago now when I was training the newest lass, there was a house that we went and did some cleaning at, and they had the fairy rings of mushrooms out the front of the house that that we were doing the windows of. It was so cool. So yeah, connecting in with the fairies and being willing to see them, be willing to open your eyes. Sometimes you can get the sense of them. It'll feel quite light and sparkly kind of energy. And then you might kind of feel them. It might feel like little, they can sometimes feel like they're coming along and tickling the edges of your ears. They also like playing with your eyelashes because they're fun. And every now and then you might actually feel them tickling along your hair. That's another way they can do it. And so if you feel any of that as you're walking along, or when you take a moment to just sit in nature or anything like that, just sort of make your eyes ever so slightly blurry, like you would have done to see one of those Magic Eye 3D pictures, a little bit like that, but not quite as intense. And you just might be able to see them playing along, like frolicking along the grass, and depending on where you're at with them, but you've got to be very still. You've got to be quiet, and you've just got to let them come to you. But they know who they're meant to be connected. We've got, funnily enough, fairy spotting is the next card. It's time to go fairy spotting. It's said that seeing is believing, but in fact, the opposite is true. Believing is seeing. So fairies and nymphs can come in all sorts of sizes. They can come in really, really teeny tiny, right up to about, I think the biggest I've ever seen is about this big. So just take your time there. So they're saying, we're here to support you, and we wish to bring this light and sort of bouncy, bubbly kind of energy to you, but this is almost like they're giving you permission to see them, because that's the other part, that's the other key, is that if they don't want to be seen, they won't be seen. You've got to be open to seeing them, but they've also got to give you permission to see, and they're telling you, with this card specifically, you can go and see them, and they've given you permission to do so. Yes to all of the above. I've been consciously spending more time without my earphones in. I've been a little fluttery and lighter in the last couple of days. Cool. The Lost and Found card has come out. What was once lost is about to be found thanks to the Lost and Found fairy. Sometimes she can help find things we never even realized were lost. The funny thing is, as I'm reading this, what I'm getting about the lost thing is this is about finding that softer, gentler, feminine side of you. And the fairies are actually a really good way to remind us of what that feels like. Like, I don't know about you, but when I think of fairies, I don't see them, like, especially because you've got your fairies that are male and the fairies that are female. When I think of a female fairy, I don't think of something that's helpless. I don't think of somebody that is like a fairy that is like, not able to stand up for themselves. I see a female fairy being like really strong and tenacious and fun and light and fluffy. Well, not fluffy, but as you said, your sparkle. I know we're talking about finding your sparkle, but this is a part of it, right? And if you wish to sort of connect in with something to inspire you, to bring that out more in you, the fairies are a really, really good way of doing that. So it's like, oh yeah, so maybe tomorrow, write down all the attributes and traits of a female fairy. In your eyes, what are they like? And then go, now how many of those do I have? You might be quite pleasantly surprised. Or at some time over this coming month, do this exercise where you can actually start going, oh, that's a trait and an attribute that I think I actually have. I've just forgotten. And then start expanding on that, of how you can bring that into your space. So, I like it. Their beautiful connection with nature and the way that they can work as a community and Like, if you piss off a fairy, though, you fucking know about it, right? And that's something that's important to remember. Being in your feminine flow doesn't mean being weak. It doesn't mean being helpless or hopeless. It's like there's some real wonderful elements of female fairydom that is one. Yes. In fact, I may even just do that bloody test, that exercise for myself. In fact, I'm going to write it down right now so that I can have it on my list of questions for my healing journal. Traits and attributes of female fairies. Cool. I write that down. It is down there. It'll be going into my book tomorrow. Manifestation. Be very honest and clear about what you wish to manifest in your life, and now write it down on a paper. Manifestation step 1. Okay, so if you recall, I think I might have spoken to you guys about it last week about my deal breakers list. Same for you. Write down what you actually wish to manifest, and within that, it's like when we do theta, it's like, would you like to know what it feels like, and that you do live each and every single day without feeling like blah, 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 blah. And that's for the feeling downloads part. But it's like there's an acknowledgement in theta of basically what is not wished to have anymore. It's not necessarily a deal breakers, but it's of a similar vein. It's like there's an acknowledgement both of the things you do wish to feel and also the things you don't wish to feel anymore. So keep it even, write it down. It says step 1, so I wonder if they've got some other it's on page 72 if you're curious. Okay. One of the simplest manifestation techniques is to write down what you desire to manifest, whether it is an idea, a wish, a dream. Be honest with yourself and very clear about what it is you wish to happen. Once it exists on the paper, it exists in the physical world. Can it be that simple? In a word, yes. Another great way to do this is to say, I wish to manifest, and put in there your idea, your wish, your dream, or something better in my life. Next, think of practical steps that you can take to start the process of bringing your idea to the world. Always remembering that your plan must respect the free will of others. Intention is key here, for it is our intent that directs the flow of energy in our life like a magnet. Stay focused and allow the fairy of manifestation to guide you during this magical exercise. Try to do one thing every day towards manifesting your idea, wish, or dream, and trust in the process. Be sure to keep a lookout for any fairy signs that may appear along the way and follow their advice. This way, you're allowing the divine universal intelligence to help you manifest in the best way for achieving the highest good of all. We always like that. So basically, just write it down. Paul says, I have my journal every day. Well done. I have only just gotten back into journaling, but it is journaling with purpose. I'm someone who can't keep up just journaling daily for the sake of journaling daily. What I do is I journal, like my healing journal at the moment is happening. So as long as that keeps going for a while, I'd say I'm probably going to be doing that for the next 6 months. And there's going to be specific directed questions, awarenesses and stuff like that. So yeah, exciting times. Friendship is the last-ish card. Fairies and humans alike require friends. Now is the time to seek out those who will support and encourage you on your journey to fulfill your dreams. Yay! We all require a support network. We cannot do this journey on our own. How you find your support network and what it looks like is different for every single person. And for me, my support network, my very, very close support network is, I've got my soul sisters, my 2 soul sisters, and then there's my counselor, and then there is a couple of other people in my world here in Adelaide who really help me moving through a lot of stuff. And I'm grateful for that. So I've probably got a support network of about 5, maybe 6 people, maybe. But the last couple are just kind of like sporadic, really sporadic. And I'm really grateful for that. So whoever is your beautiful support network, the ones that you can really just be open and raw about and raw with as you're moving through all of the stuff that you've been doing lately, the people that you can go, oh my God, this just happened and it fucking rocked me, or oh my God, this happened and it really makes me feel really bright and positive, and oh my God, there's this point of view. And Shivani, yes, I have a list of people who have donated that they always get preference. Okay, if I have time to do something free-ish, it's generally through like doing my poetry book afterwards. So if you want to stick around, you might find some useful things for you too. It's funny how that happens. So yeah, friendship, please keep reaching out to your friends. Don't be a hermit, and know that you don't have to do it all on your own either. Okay, it's really important to have those people in your world that you can just bounce ideas off. Somebody who's going to go, like, the way that my 2 soul sisters work is very different. One of them will just hold space and then go, your work is awesome, keep going. The other one will also hold space and then go, wow, and have you thought about this? And have you thought about that? And that also reminds me of this as well in my life. Thank you for that. And then we bounce back and forwards a little bit more. The first one, she'll say, awesome, fabulous, keep going. She'll also maybe supply me with the odd tool here and there, but not so often. It's more, have you considered this? Or if I'm having a bit of a low moment, she'll go, please know that you are lovable and you're easy to love, because quite often that's been the theme as of late this year. Just remember, you're lovable, you're easy to love, and you're lovable. And she would know, she's known me for 26 years. So yeah. And what have we got? Funny. I love how this cards work. Your yummy card is support. So keep coming back to that space of support for yourself. Keep coming back to your friendship, your support network. This month is clearly going to be one of those ones where you might have to lean on them just a little bit more as you're gaining some more awarenesses and openings and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Don't try and handle everything on your own. Reach out to 1 or 2 other people that you can just breathe with. Okay, connecting to your fairies, oh man, that's a really beautiful thing. So keep going. Write down the stuff that you're wishing to manifest and actualize. Okay. I don't know if you've done the book or read the book, The Happy Pocket Full of Money, yet. That's a really good one to talk about for manifesting, using the energy, the quantum dynamics of the universe. Finding your sparkle. Believing is seeing. Oh, so cool. Thank you so much for your very kind donation, Tamara. I'm so grateful for you. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. So thank you. Thank you to you. Thank you to your team. And thank you for being here. So super grateful for you. Bro-yo. So the reason why I got a little bit like, was because even though he turned it around and sort of made it a bit of a joke, he said, my sister just said at 2 this morning, is Lorene on yet? Laugh out loud. And then he said it's because she was trying to get rid of him. But the reason why I was like, whoa, was I would never have considered that, Paul, your sister would even know that I exist in your world. And that means you've obviously mentioned me to her. And that is just like, I feel really fucking humbled right now. And that was part of why I was like, whoa, just whoa. I think that comes through from when I was a teenager, and I remember being really upset because I was aware that people were talking about me. And my mother at the time, bless her waistcoat and socks, says, what makes you think you're so important that people would be talking about you? So that's part of why that was just like boom into my world, because I don't assume that people are talking about me. And so thank you, Paul. We for talking about me with your sister. I hope you have a great day at work, and we will catch you up when you come back in a couple of weeks. Tony, yours came through, darling. Yours has come through. When you guys hear that diddling, that's normally at this time, it's you guys doing donations. So thank you, Tony. I have that written down now. There we go. You're all good. You're all good to go, my dear. So you will be after Amanda. No. So we've got Amanda now. Then we've got a couple of little quickies from Christine, and then Tony, you'll be after Christine. Okay. So Amanda, if you could pop yours through, that would be amazing. What did I just say? Amanda, if you could put your question in, that would be really great. Oh my God. Yay, I did say it right. See, back 3 odd years ago, I used to pull out a few card packs and have them all ready to go. Now I just have them all sitting in their little storage spots. And because you guys never choose the same ones week after week. And I just went, you know what? I'm not even going to try to figure out what you guys are going to choose, what your teams are going to choose. I'll just let you choose them, and then I'll unpack them. Then I'll shuffle them. It'll be all good. So tell me, guys, what have you all been up to this week? What exciting things or what things have been popping up in your world? What awarenesses? Oh, there's so many directions we could go. But yeah, let me know. What have you been up to this week? I've been on holidays. It's been great. I keep forgetting what day it is. And then I go, oh, yeah. Like when the session was booked today for tomorrow, and it said, you know, blah, 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 has booked a session for Saturday. And I went, it's Saturday tomorrow? Oh, yeah, it's Saturday tomorrow. I couldn't have told you that yesterday was Thursday because I kept forgetting it was Thursday. Oh, dear. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to cope when I become retired because I'm never going to remember what day of the week it is. Interesting point of view that I have that point of view. Maybe I'll be able to remember even easier because I'm trying not to forget. Maybe we like forgetting what day of the week it is on the like when we're on holidays so that we can't remember that we're going back to work too soon. Yes, Tony, we are indeed unpredictable. Ooh. Oh, Tony. Tony said, well, I found out I'm still a woman and not a hag. Laugh out loud. Unfortunately. Laugh out loud. Okay. As far as I'm aware, hags are still women too. But I guess it depends on what exactly you're talking about. Amanda said, so I had an awareness speak through me yesterday. I had pigged out on peppermint chocolate and felt ill. Said to myself, that was a bad choice. And then in my head, I heard, nope, that was a choice. Awareness with no judgment. Fantastic. I love it. Yes, it is. It's just a choice. It's just a choice. And we can make a different choice in 5 seconds. We can make a different choice tomorrow. And it was interesting. I shared a video with my friend the other day, and it was funny because she repeated it back to me. And it was this guy talking about how he was a hardcore people pleaser. He was an alcoholic. He was being the operative word. And there was something that he realized, or it came into his world, and it was a game changer for him. And it was the phrase, so what? And it really helped him break out of being a people pleaser, because he's like, but what if I don't do that thing for that person and they hate me? So what? What if I decide to not drink anymore and people start ridiculing me? So what? And it was so cool to hear that my friend was having a lot of ease with it because she's got a bit of people pleasery tendencies too. We call ourselves the recovering people pleasers. And just to have that moment of going, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It really doesn't. It's a so what thing. And along with that, it really doesn't matter. Like, judgment doesn't matter. It can have huge consequences on us and our energy flows and the way that we create and the way that we receive. So in that way, it has a lot of impact. However, if you go to a judgment and then you go, so what? Like, your choice, and then you go like, that was a bad choice. So what? I can make a different choice tomorrow. I can make a different choice in 5 minutes' time. Doesn't mean I'm a bad person. Just means I've made a choice. And these are the consequences of said choice. Okay? It's information. Love it. Well done. Good work. Good job. All right. Oh, I am so happy you have this first card, Amanda, because in fact, I really, really, really wish for you to see this card. So there we go. It is the Joyful Muse Inspiration card. It is number 33. So this one is about inspiration. It is about the gift of a gift of play and inner child. So the Joyful Muse invites you to be more playful, to have more mirth and joy in your life. You have become boring to yourself and others as others continue to find you, even if others continue to find you interesting. Basically, this card is all about bringing in more creativity, more fun, more joyousness. And it's so funny because I have a really funny feeling that you got this card last time, if I'm not mistaken. The Joyful Muse often comes at a time when darkness prevails and the future seems dour. Embrace her gifts, being playful without being silly. Invite the child inside you to come out for a play date. They will help you to return to your innate innocence in the place of never been there, never done that, even if it's the same routine you wake up to every morning. All right? So just keep bringing that inner child out. You're doing really well with it already. But remember that little bit of judgment squashes the inner child a little bit. So wrap her up, give her a big, huge hug, and go, let's get out to play. All right? Movement will help move the peppermint chocolate out of your system too. Okay. This one here is the closing door, which is completion. And the closing door completion card is talking about, endings. It's talking about completions of stuff. It's talking about maybe moving on, doing a different job, blah, 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 blah. This for me, and as I'm tuning in on the card for you, is actually talking about your self-doubt. It's ending your relationship with self-doubt and judgment. It's shutting the door on that part of you that is preventing you from going, actually, I can do this. And you know what? I don't really care if other people judge me. And I really don't care to judge myself about it either. So this card here is all about bringing up that place inside of you that is full of, got that safety element inside of you, that self-confidence element. It's about bringing that up even more and remembering to bring that up through your inner child. She knows all about self-confidence. She knows all about how to just go and create something and do it and just really proudly show it off, even if, and she doesn't even give two shits about what anybody else really thinks about it. She's proud, right? She's just proud to do her creations and just show it off anyway, because she knows it's good. In her eyes, it's good. So yes, Mrs. Doughty McDoubt, your lovely inner critic, she needs to take the back seat. She in fact, she can just sit out at the bus stop. The bus is not welcoming her onto the bus anymore. Okay, so that's what I'm getting that this card is about. It's about actually helping you to see that she's not particularly important in this process anymore. And you may actually like to do some like meditation type inner child work with her. I call it inner child, but you know what I mean. Acknowledging her presence and saying, you know, thank you for your attempt to keep me safe. Because that's why she's been created. It's all a part of the ecosystem. So you can say, thank you for trying to keep me safe. I appreciate it really so much, because when you were first created, you were created at a time when I really wanted to fit in. And you did a great job, and thank you. Now that's not really where I'm at. I'm not looking at being like that anymore. I'm looking at just being myself and loving myself regardless. And I don't really give two shits, two craps, if I fit in or not. It's okay. So thank you. You can retire now. Here's your retirement plan. Take your knitting and run. Enjoy it. Bye. Okay. Ooh, that moved some energy. Fantastic. I'm going to read this one because you're going to like it. This is overflow, and it says overwhelm and plenty. Too much. So many good things are headed your way or are already occurring in your life right now. Yet you may be thinking that they're not possible or you're not worthy of them. Abundance is everyone's natural state before we project our restrictions on it, defining what it means, who has it, who gets it, and so forth. Right now, take yourself out of conditioning, and look at your life through the eyes of plenty. There is so much beauty and love, opportunities and divine synchronicities destined to support your dreams abound and are lined up for you. Yet it's sometimes difficult to discern it because you're bombarded with too much information and stimulation, distracting you from the truth that all is well. Sometimes with all this overflow can be overwhelming, and you find yourself responding with empathy overload. Empathy overload occurs when you tune into the collective angst and fear about impending changes and uncertainties. It's unimaginable. If you feel like you're drowning in those emotions, I'm going to just interject here, expand out your allowance. That's a really good thing. It's time to allow yourself to detach, bring yourself back to your life, restore your faith in a power greater than you, your higher self. Just saying. And remind yourself to focus on your smaller personal universe, which is much easier to manage. In this way, you know that you are a conduit for life's blessings and can share them with others, making this perception of overflow profoundly positive. Right? So what message I'm really getting from this for you is there is so much good in there, but again, don't allow what did you call her? Mrs. Dowdy McDowd? Because Dowdy McDowd will make you go into empathy overload as well, because she's tuning in on everybody else's doubts and making it so it's real for you too. So and just be aware that there is so much good out there. And it's so funny because this card here and the positive senses of this card here and this card here actually go together really, really well. There's like so much goodness, so much creativity, so much love, so much prosperity, abundance for you. And it's like the only thing that is stopping you from receiving that is this. So keep going. This next card for you, 34. Hi, Nicole. Yeah, I love that message to your inner critic. Yes, thank you for trying to keep me safe. You did amazing, but keep those eye rolls to yourself. Definitely. We've got the lay of the land, past lessons, being well informed, and ancestral wisdom. There are times when you're meant to discover and explore new terrain in your life, even to be a part of a wave of change. This is one of those times, but what you're contemplating is perhaps new to you, but others have laid well-worn paths and left wisdom for you to rely and reflect upon. This is so you can have better understanding of the potentials and possible pitfalls on your journey. When you know the lay of the land, you are better able to fully experience what is being offered to you. It is a wonderful time to seek a mentor or a good advice from an expert or elder. That way, you will be able to meet life's opportunities and challenges well informed. Knowing you have a map, now you can be curious about what else is here. This is a path that promises success in all areas. Where others before you have dared to tread, you will discover the treasure that they have left behind for you to make your own. So what I was also getting with this one was it's your connection to land. It's your connection to the messages of the land that you're traveling through right now. And these are the things, this knowledge that you're starting to bring through into your writing and stuff like that. This is all destined to be. And the lovely thing about it is that the more you do it, the easier it's going to become and the more confidence you'll have in yourself. And then this land will keep giving you more and more and more deliciousness to work with. Okay? So that's pretty fucking cool. So let us have a look. I wonder if I'll ever be able to get through an episode without swearing. I don't know. I know it's a low energy thing, but I'm just like, oh, it just comes out of my gob. We got generosity. So what I'm getting with this one is the generosity of sitting with Mother Nature and just seeing how generous she is, and bring some of that, send some energy from you back down into Mother Earth. Okay? She has so many people coming and taking from her, and she's infinite anyway, but it actually helps her to send some energy back down. And because you are traveling, that's actually a really lovely thing to do. And you'll actually find that different areas have different energy vibrations. I know that when I've been flying, and flying over Victoria, over the ocean to New Zealand, every single one of those spots had really different energies to it. So tapping in and being generous with your energy through to Mother Earth, and then her information, her knowledge will start flowing through for you even more. than it already is, because you're already tapping into some really awesome stuff. So keep going, keep enjoying that. And yeah, it's time to send Mrs. Daddy Pants off to the retirement village. Thank you, Amanda, for coming to play. Thank you so much for your very kind donation. I'm so, so grateful for you. And I just love that you're here with us tonight. Thank you. Mwah. Yeah. Happy days, happy days. All right. So that was that one. All right, we've got Christine's questions. The first question, I was smart today. I actually saved them. There we go. Which pendulum wants to come out to play? Would like to come out and play. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've got something in my eyeball. Don't like it when that happens. It's not fun. All right. I don't wish to have a swearing jar. Nicole, I'm trying to open my light more and more, and I have opened it up more. For me, it's one day at a time. That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Nicole. Keep going. You're being really well supported. You're being really well supported by all of the energies and stuff that are floating around at the moment for getting rid of old stuff that's no longer serving you. Yeah. I had a post up on Facebook today talking about the fact that this week alone, we've had, obviously, Ozzy Osbourne has gone. I have a feeling he actually did voluntary euthanasia. Just because there was an interview I listened to this week that he'd done back in 2007. So I actually think he did that one. It was a planned exit. We had Hulk Hogan, which was a cardiac arrest. We had the guy who played Theo Huxtable, Jamal, I can't remember the rest of his name. He passed away this week. There was an Australian actor that passed away this week. There was a famous singer or something like that passed away. There's been like 5 or 6 famous people who have passed away this week, and I'm like, whoa. And I mean, I sort of expect that thing for winter time, but it's the summer in the States. It's in the summer in the Northern Hemisphere. So I'm like, it's interesting. I actually really do feel the truth in what my soul sister was saying, that there's a lot of death energy. It's a lot of clearing out right now. And we've had it before. And as I think you mentioned, Tony, around the Michael Jackson time, it was a lot happening then too. Don't know that it's governmental. I think it's just it's a part of the bigger plan. So let's have a look. So show me a yes, please. And a no. Thank you. Come back to neutral, please. Thank you. So the question is Jonathan and his family going to rent 3401? I showed them the place. She said she will complete the forms yesterday and I have not received anything. Okay. So, truth, is Jonathan and his family going to rent 3401? Not sure you can see that, but it's actually going around in circles, which means that they're undecided. And it's getting stronger and stronger. So they're really, really undecided, and that's probably why you haven't seen any paperwork yet. So let's just ask that a slightly different way. So truth, what will it create if Jonathan and his family rent 3401? Okay. So if they do decide to go with you, they're obviously looking, and they're, like most renters, are probably looking at a bunch of different places. If they do choose you, it looks like that'll create more. Okay, so it's a fairly positive indications there if they go with you. But at this moment in time, this very moment in time, that is they're still undecided yet. So maybe they saw your place and maybe saw another one and maybe another one. I know when I've been looking for places, I'll quite often ended up seeing like 2 or 3 in one day, and then have to sit down and go, okay, which ones do I actually wish to apply for? The other thing to check is you said the forms and they have not received any, and you haven't received anything. Check your spam. Sometimes when people email stuff in, it jumps into our spam or our junk mailbox in the emails. If that's how they're giving it to you, okay? So just double check. If you're like me, or maybe they're like me, and I tried to send an email to work today and it didn't go through. It sat in my drafts. So you may even want to give them a little bit of a nudge to say, hey, just seeing where you're at with that paperwork. Okay. Thomas said in the email about my mum's informing me where to find the documents accurate. Okay. So let me just see if I can get a read on this one. Truth, has your mum informed you where to find the documents? That's showing a no. Truth, does Thomas believe that your mother has informed you where to find the documents? Yes, he believes that she has. Truth, did she actually get around to telling you? No. Truth, did she tell Thomas about where to find the documents. That's going round and round in circles. So I think she was a bit cagey about the documents. And I have a funny feeling going by that. So truth, please come back to neutral. Let me just help that out. Sometimes it gets a little bit excited. So truth, was your mum going to tell you about the documents and where to find them and didn't get a chance to? Yeah. Okay. So basically, your mum kind of said to Thomas, yep, she'll know. And he's kind of gone, okay, he's just taken that as gospel. And then your mum just didn't get a chance to tell you. Maybe she thought she had more time and just went, okay. And then she popped her clogs and you're like, oh shit. That's a bit disappointing. So Thomas doesn't actually know where the documents are either. He thinks you know. You're like, I don't know. She never told me. And so you're going around in circles right now. So all I can say is that when it comes to your mum's stuff, you're going to have to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. I get it sort of hidden away down somewhere weird. Maybe not with other paperwork. These particular ones, the documents that you're trying to find. So yeah. Hopefully that helps. I know it's a bit of a strange one. Can only hope. So the only other thing I would say to you, Christine, is that if you can sit or stand in the spaces where your mum would have put paperwork in her office or whatever, if it still hasn't been touched much, and go into a space of meditation. Go into, like, do the expanding out tool, that sort of thing, and call in your mum and ask her to show you. Ask her to show you where that is. Stand there with your eyes closed and wait till you feel her come in, because she's of sound mind. When she's up in the spirit plane, she's of sound mind. She hasn't, if she had any like dementia or anything like that going on, or anything that might have impaired her memory previously, that's all gone now. She knows exactly where things are. Okay. And she'll be able to show you, but you'll have to be very like centered and calm, and it's going to have to be really quiet so that you can do this. And then you'll be able to just drop into yourself, expand out your allowance. You know the tools, we've done them many, many times, and you'll be able to hopefully tune in on her. And because it is a place and a space where her energy is very, very strong, it should be pretty easy for her to come through to you and hopefully find what you're looking for. Okay. And then, of course, at the end, you thank her, and it is done, it is done, it is done. Thank you. You may go now, you may leave. And release her, because it's not kind to make her stay with you. All right. Okie dokie, Tony. Your turn, my love. Nicole. It's over the moon. It's every 7 years or 5 years. Yes, too many famous people passed away. Yes, I got a beautiful energy around me, supporting me in my world. I'm happy in what's going on for me and my family and the beautiful people around me. Yay! The lovely thing is that the more that we dive into self-love, the people around us can't help but loving us. The more that we dive into adoring ourselves, the people around us can't help but adore us. It's not like we're pushing it onto them. It's like they just respond to that energy. And that's the thing for us women, is that that truly is our feminine energy at work and at play. The more that we play with it, the more we use it, the more we energize ourselves that way, the easier it is to encourage those around us to do the same. Okay? So as they say, it's funny because, you know, the good old saying of, you know, before you can love anybody else, you have to love yourself. Not true. What I am really starting to understand these days is that you can absolutely love other people more than you love yourself. However, the more that you come to self-love, the more you come to self-adoration, the easier it is for other people to love you. And therefore, you've got an overabundance of love, and that you can then love them even more. And it becomes this really gorgeous mutual flow between you, rather than just you going love, 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 love. And then because you're secretly hating yourself or judging yourself or whatever is going on in behind, even if people try to love you, you bounce it back at them. It's like, it's so cool that we can actually have that space of going, you know what, I just love you, my gorgeous. I love you so much. And then it's like the people around us go, oh, I love you too. And it's just like, oh, yay. Because now I've got lots even more love to give. You know? So that's why I harp on about judgment and stuff a lot. Because it really does fuck with your energy flow, something chronic. It messes them up so bad. And the self-deprecation, that's another form of judgment. I don't like it. It's something that, you know, people who have an English background do a lot. I don't like it. Not at all. Because it's talking down about yourself, which is judging yourself, and you're trying to make a joke about it. And it's like, it's just mean. It's mean to you. Which is why for a long time I've said, the way you talk about yourself, is that how you would talk about your best friend? And what if you are your own best friend? And that's the way it's supposed to be. So coming back to self-love. And it's not about being egotistical. It's not about being big-headed. It's not about any of that. It's about having gratitude for this incredible meat sack that you have. And that's self-love too. Let me see what cards wish to come through for Tony. Okay, you want one of those? Okay, cool. Or do you want a few of them? These are really hard to shuffle, so I might have to do this slightly differently. Okay. Tongue just fell down. What was that? Oh, it's a pen. Yes, all the cards. And you can't have all the cards, sorry. just a couple of them. Let's see what we've got. Okay. Cool. All right. So the reason why I was so confused is because these first cards don't, I think I've only ever brought them out once before, which is why I'm like, the fuck cards? Because I didn't even touch them to start off with, because I'm like, they're so rare to come out that I was like, So you're a real little beastie. All right. So they are actually the symbols of the Lemurian goddesses. So these are from symbols from Lemuria. And what we've got here is the Sense Takai. Apologize if I've said that wrong, which is the goddess of nature. So realize by means of this energized goddess symbol card with which themes you resonate and which feel unpleasant to you respectively. All right. So what they're asking you for is, I'm going to read you these things here. And what they're asking you to note is which themes feel like they resonate, which like, yeah, that feels really light. And also to note the complete opposite end, where you just feel really crunchy, like, oh, you know, and which they have said feel really unpleasant to you. And as you do that, what will happen is you'll start to notice, especially the things that are unpleasant, take special note of those, because that's where you require to do some shadow work. Okay. All right. So touch with nature, animal communication, and power animal, simplicity, reduction to the essential, naturalness, sensitivity, and gratefulness. But also imbalance, feeling marooned, isolation, limitation, stress, burnout, and overreaction. Okay, I said that really slow so that you can like go, oh yeah, oh, yeah. So the senses that I was getting, and I'll see if you felt the same, was especially with the also ones, was isolation, limitation, stress, and overreaction were the words that really stuck out as I'm tuning into your energy. So with these things, it's like, what can you be or do to feel more connected? Okay? Because here's the thing. You are an infinite being. And as an infinite being, you are never really alone or isolated. All right? So, yeah, imbalance, stress, burnout, isolation. So it's like you're never alone. You're never actually disconnected. And the way that that's all showing up right now, and particularly in the words that you've identified, is it's showing me that you're sitting and you're actually hovering between sympathetic and dorsal vagal systems, which means that you're not feeling particularly safe right now. And by safe, I mean safe within yourself. So what I would highly recommend you start learning about is the polyvagal systems. I highly recommend that for you, because the thing is, while you're feeling all of these things, it's not helping you to move out of it. Okay, so these practices, the polyvagal practices by Deb Dana, will help you to move yourself up out of it. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. So you had 2 cards from the Lemurian one. So this is the, is that an S or a B? Lavanika, which is the goddess of motherhood. So again, let's have a look at the words that you resonate with, and then, but more so, the words that you're like, that's crunchy, that feels uncomfortable. So we've got love, care, acceptance, guarding, protecting, defending, acting as a model, mother lion, stability, ancestral healing. But also, let's be slow and gentle here. It's about noticing and not judging. Okay? Fear-mongering, self-abandonment, accepting exploitation, forgetting oneself, soft pedaling, and being unable to say no. So let's see what you got. Self-abandonment was one that really stung. Forgetting oneself. Being unable to say no felt slightly rude. Tony, I will send you a screenshot of the book. Okay. So yeah, being unable to say no was the last one. Fear-mongering, self-abandonment, accepting exploitation, forgetting oneself, soft pedaling, and being unable to say no. So again, that's all signs that you are sitting between your sympathetic and your dorsal vagal systems. Okay. And so you're hovering between fight and flight, which is your sympathetic, and your freeze and fawn, which is your dorsal. All right, which is where, because your dorsal is where things like very dark thoughts come in. It's also where things like deep depression comes in. That's in your dorsal. It's the spaces where you're like, I just can't think how to get out of this situation, or that sort of stuff. Yeah. And then your sympathetic is where you get angry. It's where anxiety sits. It's where the fight and flight sits. And it's where a lot of judgment of self sits. It's, so it's not very pleasant. Either of those states is not particularly pleasant. But the interesting thing is that because the anger sits in the sympathetic system, when people get really angry, it's also a great movement of energy. Whereas because the dorsal system is sitting in there, and that's where the freeze and the fawn comes, that's where you're immobilized. And that's where you stand there going, I don't know what on earth I'm doing now. And it's fascinating stuff to look into. So Deb Dana is the lady who wrote Polyvagal Practices. And it's about anchoring the self in safety. All right. They don't even know here that I'm feeling like that. Yeah, I know. They're not taught to identify it either. They're taught how to care for the body, but they don't get taught how to care for the mind. And that's the hard part. All right. This is about the care of the mind and the heart. Okay. The other card that came out is actually from the Lover's Oracle, which I thought was quite interesting. Yes, Vagal, Vagal, by Deb Dana. So the card actually has a really pretty image on the back. What is this? And the front of it says, it's important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone. Instead of placing your focus on another, now is the time to give to yourself. All right. So basically what I'm seeing with this card is the thing that you're resisting the most right now is actually one of your greatest gifts. Okay, you'll be like, what the actual hell are you talking about, Lorene? This is hell. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be isolated in this place. I don't like these people floating around me, looking at me, and all the rest of it. All right. This is your greatest gift right now. To have the space to be doing these things, doing these practices, learning this stuff, doing the deep dives into you. Okay. And sometimes the irritations are actually there to show you where you have stuff to work on around that too. Perhaps the practice that you're using right now, whatever that is, needs to be shorter. Perhaps it's something that you require to speak about with someone, to say, look, I really find it incredibly challenging. Do they have like counselors or anything in there? People that you can talk to? Because there was that church lady, right? I don't know if she could maybe facilitate something, but it's like, I wish to do a lot more self-care. I wish to do more meditation, and I wish to have my space respected while I'm doing that. So what I would really appreciate is that if there is a sign on my door saying, do not disturb, I'm meditating, then don't come in. Do not disturb until whatever time. Maybe put that on there. Okay? And so what I would do if I was in your position, I'd be advocating for myself in such a way that says, like, to have a note on the door to say, do not disturb me. I am meditating until whatever time. And put a time on the door. Okay? It's not just the sign on the door. It's saying, do not disturb me until. So that then it's not just an open slather, because they're like, well, has she been in there for 10 minutes? Has it been an hour? Has it been 5 hours? What if she's died in there? How are we going to know? Because they're also working through their routines as well. And it's like, even if you were to say and try and facilitate it with the director of your unit to say, look, honestly, I'm finding it really hard to do my self-care right now. And I'm not talking about going showering or anything like that. Mental self-care. And I can't do it when people are interrupting me all the time. What can we do? How can we work this together so that I can make sure that I'm staying as fit and as healthy mentally, and you guys can help facilitate that too. So I'm not being so much of what you would say is a pain in the bum, so that I become a better, healthier, a better patient for you, a better client for you, or whatever they call you guys, a better resident. So maybe you can work in together, find a time where it's not going to interrupt their rounds. To, if you're doing it, so if their rounds are done at 3 o'clock, then okay, don't do your meditations at 3. Do them before that or after that. But also, as they've come around, done their checks with you, then say, hey, can you please put this up on my door? I would like to go and I'd like to do my meditations and self-care now. It's about working together. And I know that's tough, but you can do it. And it's coming from the heart rather than, and it's using that feminine energy, using that loving energy. Okay. Let us have a yummy card. Your card that came out was actually joyous. So you got to try and find the spaces and places where you can be joyous. Okay? And that's the joyous within. Okie dokie. I hope that there is something that can come through that will help you, because it's about finding that person within the staff that you can talk with that will be able to advocate for you too, or with you. And if there is a counsellor on site, maybe see if you can connect in with them and start talking with them about how you're feeling. Because if they have a duty of care for you mentally as well as physically, and it's about being not a stick in the mud. Try to work with them and just so they can then work with you too. Like I said before about loving yourself so much that they can't help but love you. You know? So keep coming back here. Keep coming back to your heart. Expand out before you got to go and talk to any of these people. Okie dokie. Please try again. All right. Thank you for choosing some really interesting cards today. Didn't think that those love cards would come out in a hurry, but there you go. There you go. All righty. That is it for donations. Happy days. Thank you so much, Tony, for your kind donation. I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate your being here with us on Find You Fridays and enjoying this space with us. And even when you get interrupted, I do appreciate it very much. All right, let's hide that one away now. Just make sure I haven't missed anybody. Ooh. Just found out that I can figure out something on my phone. I have a reminder that's been set up ages and ages ago. Oh, Catherine, see, good thing I checked my phone because you're now. Goodness gracious. Alrighty. So, Catherine, if you're still floating around, my dear, could you pop yours in? Put your question in. Tony, no counsellor on site. I've gotten a counsellor for me. They suggested the same. It didn't work. Someone has offered to sell my bracelets at the holistic shop. So that's positive. Fantastic. I appreciate this. It's not doom and gloom. I'll try and get in. Fantastic. Well done. I don't know if Catherine is still here. She may or may not be. It might be too late for her now. That's okay if she's not. I will make sure. Yay! Oh, yay. Yes, it did. I just, I hadn't written it down because it came through at a time when I was doing other things. So, yes. Yay. I can do yours now. What is your question, my dear? Keep trying, Tony. Keep trying, okay? And come from the space of love and compassion. Come from that space of, you know, instead of, you never give me that, I've asked for this 50 bajillion times and it's never gone through, or whatever. Nobody's ever respected my space, and I've asked for this so many times. It's like, hey, you know what? I'd really appreciate it if we could work together on this and come up with a solution which works for all of us, so that I can continue to be healthy and happy mentally and emotionally, and you guys can still do your job without being hindered from doing that by what I require to do. How can we do this together? Two very different energies. And I know how frustrating it is dealing with people sometimes. Like today, for example, like I've actually done a bit of a weird one with my annual leave, and I've taken the Monday off, which has kind of thrown everybody out. And my manager has been away all week sick. And so he didn't get a chance to double check everything before he was off sick, even though I told him 3 times. I went to send an email today to the upper manager just to say, hey, I see that you've got a job booked in for me Monday. You might want to change that because I'm not going to be there. I'm on annual leave. I went to send it, but it ended up sitting in my drafts instead because I got interrupted. And when the office messaged me to say, I've dispatched your job for Monday, I'm like, I rang them up straight away going, look, I'm sorry, but that annual leave is not, I'm actually on annual leave on Monday. It's on my forms. I sent it off, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not at our end. I was like, well, it is. And then I realized that the email hadn't gone through to the upper manager. So then she rang me back. And then the next thing you know, it's all sorted out. All right. Okay, Catherine. Cool. Thank you, darling. So escalating is fine, but just be gentle with it. Be kind. It's about acknowledging, yeah, I know you guys are busy. I know you guys have got a lot to do, and I know you guys have got a routine to keep. And can we try and work something out so that I can keep myself feeling good? So that I'm not so much of a pain in the bum for you guys. Okay. Hope you have a nice sleep. Okay, Catherine. Let me see. I'm going to pull some cards for you as well. Oh, excuse me. And see what comes through. And I'm not saying that you are a pain in the bum, Tony. I'm really not. What I am saying is it's like an acknowledgement of them and their job, and so that they feel listened to, they feel heard, they feel acknowledged. That's what we all do. Okay? We all want that. We all wish to feel appreciated. And really, unfortunately, in the situation that you're in, there's a lot pulling on the staff, and they're tired, and they're underappreciated by the system, And then you have a whole group of people who are much older than them, all pulling them in different directions too. And some of them are grumpy old fucks, and some of them are nice old ladies. And at any day they can flip, they can change. It's, in a lot of ways, being in aged care is very intimidating. So you got to have quite a thick skin, or just not give a shit. Nighty night, Amanda. Thank you for being here. Have a great week. I look forward to more of your adventures. So yeah, being in aged care is a very, very tough job. It's very tough. So yeah, as they say, it's easier to attract bears with honey than vinegar. And let's face it, aged care, that's a bunch of bears. Just tuning in with Aiden now, seeing if I can have him come through. Okay, interesting. I'm getting... He's saying to me, auntie. He's an auntie. He's not... So it's an actual auntie. It's not a cousin. He said, it's like he's showing me that she's just crying a lot. So it's one of his aunties, and he's just like, she just keeps crying and crying and crying. She doesn't need to. Everything's okay, and everything's gonna be okay. He's still quite in his newness of being over there, but he feels very calm. He feels very settled. I was asking him specifically if he has any messages for you, Catherine. And all I get is the sense of a lot of warmth and love. Like happy times, like I feel a lot of like big smile energy. And a feeling like you already know, like he feels good when he thinks about you. One of the things that he is saying, that he is not his body. His body, it's not him. So don't stress about that. So yes, he is okay. He's fine. He's doing well now. He's, like I said, he feels very calm. He's at peace. I'm just going through some other options of if he's got any other messages for anybody else, to see if I can pull that through. He keeps showing me this auntie who's just crying and crying and crying. I think he's really worried about her. It's like she really needs some reassurance. But also he's just showing me she's just bending over like this, and she's just crying and crying. Okay. Question, did Aiden have a sister? Because when I asked if he's got any messages for his mum, his dad, no, there's nothing more than what I've already said. When I asked if he had any brothers or if he had messages for brothers, it was like a no. But then when I asked about sister, there was a very much a lightness on sister. Sorry. Apparently they used to joke around about when he would leave, and he just said to me, "You can tell her she can have my room now." So I don't know about that one, but that's what he's told me, and he's making it into a bit of a joke. So it's like the sister is requiring a little bit of a laugh, apparently, and that's what he would like to pass on to her. Other than that, he's doing okay. He's doing just fine. And he, like I said, he is not his body. So yeah, he's good. He's good. Like I said, he's still in his newness of being in the spirit realm. So he's still trying to get his footing a little bit. But he's doing well. He's doing well. That was fun. I actually had somebody the other week ask me about doing mediumship, and I'm like, it's still developing for me. I'm still very much an apprentice there. And so I appreciate you helping to give me some practice with that. I have to sometimes, because when you guys as teams step in, they just step in as one group, one entity. I often don't get individuals coming through, as you guys know, on the show. When I'm in one-on-one sessions with you guys, sometimes a certain person will come through, especially if we ask for them specifically. Excuse me. But yeah, on the show, it's a bit different. And I'm good with it not necessarily coming through on the show too much. But yeah, that's fun. No, he's a good lad. I just heard the words, I was done with this life. I was done with this body. It was time for me to go. Then he said, it may not have been on other people's timeline, like as in other people in his family are like gone too soon or that sort of thing. But he's like, no, it was my time to go. Even if it doesn't make sense to anybody else, it was my time. Because I was done with this body and I was done with this life. So he's very firm about that. He's just like, no. So here we go. That was part of why I had the cards out too, because it was helping me to slightly be distracted, bringing in through his energy, bringing in through his words. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm glad that makes sense to you. Yeah, he's very, very firm. He's just like, no, I was done. It's like time to hit the reset button kind of thing, that feeling of he'll come back. And I get this, I actually feel like he'll be reincarnated pretty quickly. I don't think he'll stay up in the revision very long. So he'll float around for a little bit, I think, to just help the family through any grief. He is concerned about that auntie person. I'm just trying to see if it's an actual blood auntie or if it's somebody he just feels like is an auntie, you know, like a family friend who's come in as somebody he was quite close to. But whoever they are, they're crying a lot. And he's just like, please stop, you know. Thank you for caring about me so much, but please stop. Love me for the good times, not the fact that I'm gone. That's the energy, that's the feeling I get from him. Oh, there's some more words coming through. Hang on. the rest of what he's saying is that there was enough pain for me. I don't want anybody else feeling pain either on my account or because of me, is the words. So he doesn't want anybody else to feel pain because of him and his leaving. He's like, no, I don't want that. It's like, I'm not my body and I'm okay. But yeah, there's definitely somebody who he looked up to, like an auntie or a mentor or something he was very close to, who's very ripped up because he's gone, and he's worried about them. So if you can find out who that is, please pass on the messages because I think that'll help her a lot. Everybody else is sort of, they're in grief, but they're kind of dealing with it in a way that he's like, okay, that's fine, that's good, but he's particularly worried about that person. Okay, anything else, sir? Okay, thank you. Go have some fun. Go wrap a hug around that auntie person. He goes, I do. He appreciates the fact that you've opened up this pathway for us to talk, and so I can get some messages back through that way, hopefully. Messages for you directly from the rest of your team. Crystals. The energy of crystals supports you and helps you with your present situation. Oh, we love crystals, don't we? Crystals are fun. So yeah, definitely make sure you got your appropriate crystals around you to help bring them through. I just got told aquamarine. So whatever aquamarine does, I'm not super up with the crystals and all the things that they do. But yes, apparently you require some aquamarine is what I just got told. The next one was, you are a powerful light worker. It is safe for you to be powerful. Your spiritual power brings great blessings and loving service to the divine. So the other thing about this one is that your ability to bring the sense of stillness is what I'm getting to others is really, really vital and is part of your purpose. And so the sense of stillness, of like taking a really chaotic, like energy room, and when you're in it, it goes to stillness. That's a gift that you have. You also have the ability to turn it around and go from stillness up to that with your energy. If you're particularly pissed off or angry or worked up about something, you can absolutely change the energy of a room. That's the gift, the light and the dark of being a light worker. You can activate, but you can also deactivate. So your sense of stillness is something that is really required right now. And the stability that you bring to situations is really required. And I'm not even talking about Aiden, I'm just talking in general. The world is a very chaotic place right now. And every person out there who can do things like bring stillness, peace and calm, happiness, love, joyfulness, these energies are really, really required now. So this is something I see that is for you, and that's something that I'm asking you to have more of, and keep leaning into it, keep using that skill. We've got vegetarian, vegan. Fresh organic fruits and vegetables give you a boost of high force energy, which elevates your spiritual frequency. So this card's always funny for me. Well, it is now because I eat a hell of a lot of protein. But this isn't about me. This is about you. So whatever it is that you're eating, please make sure it's as simple as possible. So trying to stay away from things that are over processed, things that are chemically manufactured and stuff like that, stuff that's got lots of chemicals in it. Just try to be really mindful of consuming those sorts of things. Keep the things that you eat simple as possible. You can eat yogurt, but eat Greek yogurt that has not got all the other bits and bobs in it. Just keep things to an ingredient list, which is really, really simple. Only like maybe 4 or 5 things. That's what I'm hearing. Instead of things with lots of numbers. So I'm not saying that you have to be vegetarian, vegan. That's what this card is saying. But if you wish to bring in eggs and things like that, then do it. If that's what feels like for your body. But your body is asking for a specific way of eating right now. Please listen to that. Okay. Your next card is books. Your life purpose involves writing, reading, editing, or selling spiritually based books. How fascinating. Have you ever thought about writing a book or editing or reading or selling spiritually based books? Let me see if I can figure this one out. There's something in the reading section. I think you like to read, don't you? But it's there's something in the reading side of it. There's some books that are asking for you to read some knowledge somewhere. Not sure what that is, but keep on the lookout. Your team is going to be sending you some suggestions soon. Okay. So, yeah. Struggling to go veggie, even though I desperately want to. This has been huge on my mind this last week. Fascinating. Cool. So I would say ease into it. If your body is asking you to go vegetarian and you're making that transition, just start out and bring that ratio and change it over, right? So, and keep it simple, like I said, simple foods like eggs, Greek yogurt, and I know I'm talking the protein, the vegetable and fruit side's easy, right? Everything is there. It's done. The reason why it's easy is because it's a simple food. And when we are transitioning from an omnivore diet down to a herbivore diet, the transition is quite tough sometimes. Make sure you're using herbs and spices. Make sure you're using lots of salt. One of the things about being on an omnivorous diet is that we tend to have a lot more salt in our diet. When we go veggie, we tend to, there's a thing that you shouldn't have that much salt. So you might even find instead of having, I don't know, pasta, drop your pasta. That might be a help, bread, take the bread away because the bread encourages us to feel more hungry anyway. You'll find ways to do it that if you just start with one small thing, even if you just go, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to drop all the sugar out of my diet, all the processed sugar, right? You'll be surprised about how much stuff has sugar in it. If you just did that one change and committed to just dropping the sugar, I'm not talking about fructose, so you can still have your natural sugars like your from fruit and things like that. But then everything else can settle. And once you're comfortable there, then you can look at moving out of some other things with the proteins and stuff like that. But dropping sugar is huge. So that's what I would recommend. That's what I'm getting the sense of. It's just then you can drop. Because the thing is, if you drop sugar, you can't have chips. You can't have little packets of chips anymore because they've all got sugar in them. Can't have bread. Bread's got sugar in it. Pasta probably has some sugar in it too. There's loads of sauces. Oh my God, you can't have sauces anymore. You got to figure out how to make things taste good with actual herbs and spices. No sugar. You learn about things like honey and maple syrup. So if you just drop refined processed sugar, white sugar, you'd be amazed. You might be amazed at how much better your body functions too. I think women actually require a lot of protein the older they get. It helps the system, helps the body. Receptive is your yummy card. So receptive, I get, is the card for being aware of what your body actually wishes to have and honoring that. Okay, so listen to your body. Figure out the ways that you know what your body wants. So for me, I've got a few different methods. I have the light and heavy tool. So when something's true for me, and that's why I always say when I ask questions, like you've seen me do the pendulum and stuff, I say truth, and I ask the question. And so sometimes that question will be truth. What will it create if I have a cup of coffee now, for example, right? And my body immediately goes really heavy, right? Because it's like, nah, that won't create more for me to have a coffee right now. But truth, what will it create if I have water right now? Oh, that's really, really light. Because for me, when I feel the light, it's like the top of my head, and quite often my ears actually move when something is really light, when it's true for me. Okay. Another way that I do it is using my body like a pendulum. So it's a form of muscle testing. And I also have my internal feminine connection that she tells me. My reproductive organs tell me whether something is true for me or not, whether she wishes to receive that or not. And I'm not talking about like, so if I sit here, for example, and I say, so, hey, pussy, because I call it pussy, because it's a beautiful, potent, powerful way of talking to her. Truth, what would it create if I had a coffee right now? And she's like, bleh. That's her no. She's like, nah. But if I go, hey, pussy, truth, what will it create if I have water right now? She's like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes me feel good. It's like, right? So I actually have a 3-way checking system. And if I've got big decisions to make, or choices to make, or even little ones, I can ask all 3. And if any one of them are wobbly or wonky or is not the same as the others, I ask further questions to help me to get what's going on. So when you're standing at the supermarket and you're looking at buying something, you go, truth, what will it create if I buy this? Truth, what will it create if I buy this packet of cheese? And your body will tell you. You just got to figure out what your signals and signs are. Okay? It's a tough one. Sugar is absolutely a tough one. I agree completely. When I went full carnivore last year, the sugar wasn't too bad for me at that point because I've dropped it out of my hot drinks a long time ago. Like many years ago, I dropped sugar out of my drinks, my hot drinks. And by this stage, I wasn't drinking soft drink as such. It's like I think I would have maybe 600 mils of soft drink a year. So it was really not a huge deal for me to go full carnivore as far as sugar goes. sugar, unfortunately, has managed to weasel its way back into my life in recent months. But I am working on sending it out again because, much like you just said, sugar is deadly. So, and yeah, it is hard when so many things are full of fucking sugar. They've got just, oh. And what was I heard the other day? Type 3 diabetes is the new Alzheimer's. So that's something interesting, hey? And there's been a lot of stuff around sugar that I've seen popping up in all sorts of places. Not that I've really been talking about it with anybody. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of research being done at the moment on the effects of sugar on the body. And it's not good, especially not in the quantities that we in the Western world consume it. It's just not healthy for us. So interesting times. Thank you so much for your very kind donation, Catherine, and I hope that your family has some, peace, receive some peace from those messages if you manage to get them over there. And thank you for introducing me to Aidan. He's a beautiful gentleman. Thank you. That was beautiful. Okay. Melinda. Oh, wow. Hi, Melinda. I dropped sugar earlier this year and have never felt better. So much energy and sleep heaps better. Yup. The amount of sugar that has come in is not huge in my world, so I could definitely drop it without too much trouble. Because I'm at that point of going, ugh. Like much like you, Melinda, I felt so much better without it. And I reached for it when I was doing all of that huge amounts of energy work, and I just wanted comfort food. I didn't give a shit. I was just like, well, comfort food, and I want it now. Like, I've got to have it around me, by me, near me, so that I can just grab and go. Now I'm through that really rough patch, so I can now come back through to a non-sugar life. Because sugar's not great for you. Not processed sugar, a bit of fructose, like a bit of fruit, actual natural, proper, is much better for you. So there's loads of ways you can get sweetness. It's funny, actually. You can get sweetness from beetroot. Crazy. Carrots are very sweet. We condition ourselves to eating so much sugar, getting very addicted to the spikes in insulin and stuff too. Poor bodies. They deal with so much. All right. Just having a think to see if there's a meditation that was just to come through. No, apparently it's poetry time. So we're going to do the expanding out tool, and then we'll get to read some poems for you guys, and then we can all go off to bed, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired. And I think that's why my body's going, yeah, nah, no meditation tonight. If I'd been able to sleep a bit longer this morning, I maybe would have been cool to do a meditation, but I'm just Follow the body, you know. All right, so closing your eyes, take a big deep breath in. We're going to do the expanding out tool first, because we've got to do that at the very least. Breathing out. Placing one hand on your heart and the other one on your belly. Make your hand move on your belly. Breathing out. Breathing in, bring Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Now expanding out your awareness and a big bubble all around you, up into the sky, down into the earth, expanding out your awareness greater than the planet. Expanding out your awareness greater than the solar system. Greater than the galaxies. Greater than the universes. Focusing on your body once more. Grab your sense of allowance and expand that out, please. Expand that out in a big bubble all around you, up into the sky and down into the earth. Expanding out your allowance greater than the planet, greater than the solar system, greater than the galaxies, greater than the universes, and now greater than your awareness. Take a big deep breath in and out. And now truth. What number between and including 1 and 88 is going to give you the greatest contribution for this week to come? Please put that in the chat now. Thank you, Melinda. Okay. This is a very interesting one that you have chosen. And the reason why I say that is it's a very tender, delicate one. And not so fun. So I'm just going to preface this by saying, for those of you who have had any moments of very dark thoughts, this is a trigger warning. And if you require to speak to someone, please call places like Beyond Blue and stuff like that. Okay. From a energetic point of view and a polyvagal point of view, let's see where we go. Okay. It's called My Suicide. In a hole so deep, can't see the light, can't reach the top. Walls closing in, no one to reach me. Darkness all around. Anger no longer exists, only sadness. I must leave to free my mind from this confusion, loss, and heartache. Trying to reach out, but being pushed back, throwing me deeper into the darkness. So what I'm seeing with this, Melinda, is there is some very deep energetic work that you're doing at the moment, and it's going to feel like part of you is dying. And that's going to be quite scary and unnerving to you. With that, please just give yourself the kindness and the compassion and the gentleness. Reach out to those you are in your trusted circle and share what is going on with you. Share your mind, share your heart. And if you feel that like maybe you are leaning on one person a little too much or something, move it to one other person. Like two or three people is perfect. And know what they can receive and then keep moving forward. I know you've had a death in the family this week too. I don't get that this is related to that though. This is more to do with your own energetic healing, and it's to do with stuff that is very, very deep down, and you're starting to just shed a bit of light on it at the moment, and there's a bit of a push-pull thing going on where it's like, is it coming up to the surface? No, not quite. Okay. So have the courage to look at it, have the courage to heal it, and shower it with so much unconditional love that it can't help but release. Okay. So this time in your life right now, it feels like it's a real pivotal turning point. And because there is so much death energy floating around right now, I'm like not actually overly surprised. There's these parts and pieces of us that are asking to go. And that means that there's a lot of grief happening right now. So just know that you're not alone. Know that you are absolutely loved, and that, you know, I'm here for you if you ever require. Okay. You know how to reach me. Yeah, let that anger, there's a line there that says anger no longer exists. That's because at that point, when this is talking, that's where it's in dorsal. It absolutely exists, but you've gone past it to way down beyond it. And the thing is, when we go down past it into dorsal, as we come back up through sympathetic, the anger comes back up again to be cleansed and cleared, so that then you can move up to ventral vagal. Okay. So there are stages, and you will move through them, and you are loved and cared for, and know your team is nurturing you and they're around you. Okay. Sending you so, so, so much love, my dear. Oh, what did I do? I don't know. I don't know what I did. No. Whoa. Oh, that's fun. I don't want to add an item. No. I don't know. Cancel. There we go. Oh my God. That was funny. I don't know what I did there. I did something cool and funky though. Yeah, I disappeared from my screen too. And then I made my screen really big. And then I don't know what happened. Oh dear, that was funny. We all need a good giggle at the end of the night, don't we? I'm sure. Okay, Catherine, 43. Oops. So you have paths and fate. After all these years, could it be so? Could I still be in love? The ache in my heart says yes. The voices around me say it would be a mistake, but then I've always made my own way. I have loved another so completely, but still, I love you. We have both grown in our feelings, minds, and wisdom, and once again our paths have crossed. This time, I think, we need to do something to put my heart at ease. Fate is trying its hardest to push us together, and sometimes it is best to flow freely with fate. I have come to a place of peace in my life, of understanding and of patience. I feel that you have too. This may be a sign that at last we are ready for each other, and that this world and the people in it are ready for us. So, paths and fate. What I was feeling with this one is when it comes to love, you are a lot wiser in love now. And this is not only with a loving partner or interest, a love interest, if you prefer. It's also the amount of loving energy you have with yourself these days. And it's that lack of caring what other people think. And that comes with maturity too. And I get that this is kind of like one of those poems. It's kind of like, yeah, you go, girl. You get out there and you get that piece of yum that's just for you. And you enjoy the living heck out of it. That's what I have from this poem for you. It's like, and you're at a point now in your life where you just take it. Just get out there and do all the things that you really wish and desire to do, because the time is now. You're not in your 20s anymore, sad to say. And with that comes, it's not an urgency as such, it's more of just an awareness that you may as bloody well. You may as well. Because if the opportunity is there and it doesn't work out, that's okay. At least you had fun along the way. You took a swing, you had a fling, and you had fun. And I think that is kind of a really beautiful place to be at, So have fun with that energy. Kind of like it. Thank you, Catherine, for that. That was awesome. All righty, my loves. Thank you so much for sticking in here with me. I'm tired. I need to go to bed. I've got to catch up on some more sleep. And be all nice, calm, and settled for tomorrow. I'm going to go and I'm going to listen to this rain and enjoy it and hop into my nice warm bed because my electric blanket is on. No water bed for me, just an electric blanket. Alrighty. I hope you all have an absolutely brilliant and wonderful week to come. Just be kind to each other, be kind to those around you, breathe, remember to breathe. And until I see you next week, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends, and I'll see you really soon. Bye-bye.